simulating a home environment, but with managed care.
That's what you were kind of right.
It must look like home, feel like home, taste like home.
Yep.
Be family friendly.
Yes.
That still provides superb care in excellence.
Absolutely.
To our patients.
Everything you've said has been ticked. When I first got here, are there visiting hours? When can I come and can't come? And you said, there's never a wrong time. You come whenever, if it's 4 times a day if you want. You're walking into a space where the caregivers are happy and engaging, not feeling like a hospital, or feeling like a home.
Yeah. And now after the fact, if you have to look back, what was the one thing throughout this whole process of dad's care that really just stays with you? Lauren, how important was it to have a good relationship with us from a management perspective and open communication and having an open door policy to come and visit? How important was that?
That was a game changer. I loved how you said this door is always open. When I first got here, are there visiting hours? When can I come and can't come? And you said there's never a wrong time. You come whenever. If it's 4 times a day if you want. You come and have Christmas lunch with us if you want. That open door policy was such a lovely let go and acclimatization into this facility that I could know at any time I could pop in and then visit, and did. This is great.
Do you think it's important for families looking for more structured care? Because again, it gets to a tipping point again where home care just isn't sufficient. You need more hands. You need more hands-on management from a management perspective. But let's say family members are looking for assisted living or an institution to care for their loved one. How important is it for them to gauge the management style, the open door policy, just the way that facility does it for their experience of a loved one?
I would say the homey feel, the walking into a space where the caregivers are happy and engaging. I'm going to say it, having no smell of urine, because that, as a child, I remember going to visit my gran and hating that, and still remembering that, and going, that will never be a space I will put either of my parents into.
No, sure.
So I'll gather that is under your management of your facility, and that was a big one for me, which was never experienced, thank goodness, and never has been. So yes, the whole vibe and your setup, the rooms were awesome, where it was just the 2 people in a room with space. The comfort, the availability of the bathroom facilities and the management of that, and not being overcrowded and not feeling like a hospital, feeling like a home. You know, that's that whole vibe the culture you've created here feels like another home that he was stepping into.
I think we started the residential facilities actually as a passion project on top of the home care, because we started getting a lot of people asking us, do we have residential facilities? They want to move away from institutionalized frail care, clinical environments, more towards simulating a home environment, but with managed care.
That's what you were kind of right.
And I think that has been the vision. The vision has been, it must look like home, feel like home, taste like home. Be family friendly. But still provide superb care in excellence.
Absolutely.
To our patients.
Everything you've said has been ticked in our experience here.
Lauren, you know, it's for us as a management team as well, walking a journey with patients and families, starting off with coming in and doing a care assessment and evaluating, you do have your carers in place, is it still sufficient, is it working, is it not, putting upskilling in place for them, implementing our specialized home care, you know, moving dad over to our facility. We came quite full circle from where we started to where dad, you know, ended with us. And I think a lot of people go through this patient journey. They go through these stages of care that they need for their loved ones. But often they don't know what to expect. And like you also mentioned, while going through it, you didn't know what the next step
Yes.
had to
And
be.
the next is quite scary, you know.
course,
The next step is like, I've never done this before.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it's the unknown.
Yes,
It's
but your
the
guidance
unknown.
was always there, and that was appreciated.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe something to highlight to families as well, to say, look, this is the Creole care model, but obviously people look to different spaces and different places to care for their loved one. But I think having that concept in mind where you really have a good and open communicative relationship with management, wherever your loved one is cared for, is probably the most important thing.
And Alpha was always there if I needed anybody. Between you and Alpha, that friendly answer on the other side of the phone, or you know, when he wasn't here, was always so great. You know, I was always so grateful for that, and that open door, open phone call, all of that you feel as a client, as the family member, you know.
But that's our heart, Lauren. I think, and that's the difference. Starting Creole Care as a passion project, and it just grew. It's now just a bigger passion project, but it's still very much a passion project for us. It was always, and me being a social worker, so I work very realistically, and I think I built Creole Care from a very realistic perspective. A lot of times people have a look at the patient, but they exclude the family's experience,
so true,
needs, emotions, right? And their presence. So oftentimes facilities don't realize how important the presence of a family is.
There's a whole lot of people behind that person in your facility, that needs support as well, in a way, you know.
For sure. And I think, again, oftentimes people listening to this podcast right now, they really feel, you know, you've heard the stories of old age homes, you've heard the horrific stories of home care. And if we can shine a light on that, there are places, and not just Creole Care, we're not the only service provider, but there are service providers who do it differently, who really care for their patients, for their loved ones, and that does it differently. But family members just need to go look for them.
And I think back in the day, when I think of my grandparents that did land up in these bigger facilities, as I say, with hundreds of people in them. I was thinking where my gran was. It was massive, it was clinical, it was cold. As I say, the feel and the smells were not great. So nowadays with this especially yours that I know, haven't used anybody else's, but I see the difference, and I'm blown away by the peace of mind, heart landing of in a very real, secure place, having experienced your way. So we'll always be grateful.
No, but a privilege. It really is a privilege to have walked this journey with you. And now, after the fact, if you have to look back, what was the one thing throughout this whole process of dad's care that really just stays with you? Is there something specific around? And thinking through the lens of, there's a family member watching this and thinking, oh my word, what is the one thing? What is the one thing that's going to stay with me long after the fact?
Maybe it was always, seeing him getting older, them getting older, my parents going, how are we going to do this? When I'm, before any of this started, going, I wonder how it's going to land. And not being fearful of it, wondering if I will have to move in with me, and wondering how it was going to be. It was a thought then that I've never actually thought about this since now you've asked me. So my takeaway is that there is a way, and as you go along the process and go along the journey, people and things come across your way that are there to help you. And this landed in the most beautiful way. I never thought, I don't know, I've grown up in this area forever, and I remember this actual house being built back in the 90s. I think it was built in the 90s, and I remember it was on the corner, this flat roof house. It looked like it was going to be quite a cool place, and I lived just beyond it down the road. And in the end, this place was a sanctuary in your company that benefited my family. So I think there's hope, there's a way, that's that end of life can be a wonderful experience for the family.
Wow.
And you were it.
Wow.
So I often drive past here thinking, that house is now Creole care, and, or the place that had in our lives is special.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's so rich, just the legacy, the history, the connection. You know, that is so rich and dear to my heart. Like, I'm very humbled by this conversation. And just, you know, we have such a conviction to do what we do. We really do.
Yeah.
And having a conversation like this today, it just, we know we're on the right track.
Yeah, you so are.
We're on the right track.
Yeah.
And I think for families, maybe just that glimmer of hope that there are people that are on the right track. There are people doing it from the right place, from the right space.
Yeah.
Families just need to go look for it.
Absolutely. And the fact that it was close to home, in my neck of the woods, I didn't have to travel to Joburg or anywhere far, was such a blessing as well. Absolutely wonderful.
Lauren, thank you very much for coming on.
Such a pleasure.
And for telling your story. I know there's still a lot of emotion just around, you know, Dad and all of that. But thank you for coming to share just a voice of hope to people who need to hear it most.
Yes, there is.
Because there are people who need to hear it.
Absolutely. So I hope I could help a little bit.
No, for sure.
For those on the journey,
For those on the journey. This is Ilanie. This is Fill in the Blanks podcast. We'll see you same time, same place next week.